Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome your faces to a PES 2018 review video today where I'm going to be discussing my overall thoughts of the new PES 2018 game and comparing it to last year and giving you my overall review of the game, giving it a rating from 0 to 10 and if you should go out and buy it or not. So we're going to start off with the game mechanics this year. What is new in PES? Everyone asks. Like, football games don't always get improved massively. It's only slightly little tweaks every year. It's kind of like a Call of Duty game. Only gets slightly more tweaks every year, but nothing drastic. Same with FIFA, same with PES. And PES this year has been definitely tweaked on this year. It's not a massive change, but if you've been playing the PES series for a long time, you're gonna see the difference. You're gonna see the differences. But if you've only just jumped on PES, you've not only played it, maybe you buy the game, but you only play a couple of matches on it, you're not gonna see it. But if you're like a hardcore PES fan, I've been playing it since 2010. I have when it was Fernando Torres on front of the cover. And that's how long I've been playing it for. Was it? I think it was Torres on 2010, I can't remember. But I've been playing it since PES 2010. And going from A to B, where they are now, it's been a big change over the years. And this one definitely has some tweaks. I'm just going to point out a couple of stuff to you, but couldn't clear my throat there. Something like one thing I absolutely love in this one is the player balance. The player balance is very important. So if you're making a quick pass to someone, say to a standard Watford player, he's not going to receive the ball very well. He's going to be off balance. But if you're like playing with a top class like midfielder or right winger, he's obviously got his special kind of abilities because he's a world-class player. He's going to be able to control the ball a little bit better, but not amazingly, and you can still catch the players off balance a bit if you catch them out where obviously they're making a move themselves. So I really do like that feature added to the game. It's definitely a way more in this one, which I do like. The crossing on the game is fantastic. Compared to last PES last year, I didn't really score a lot of crosses on the last one, but this one, the crossing on the game is smooth, and you can do your like tiki-taka kind of football, passing it around the box. Then you can just suddenly say, go with a Gareth Bale, whack the ball in, and say Ronaldo's in the box, he's going to score that header in the box, and it's absolutely fantastic. The crossing on the game this year, I've say personally one of my favourite things on the new game mechanics of PES this year. When it comes to the passing's a bit more, you can feel the pitch. You can feel the pitch. So if you're playing on a dry day, the ball's going to move really smoothly. If you're playing say a wet day, you can feel the wet on the ball as you're passing the ball, and it feels a bit more slowed down in a way. I might be completely wrong how I worded that, but for me it just feels a little bit slower down, and it doesn't really move as well if you're playing on dry grass. And you can tell the difference between when it's wet or dry, and if you've been playing PES for a long time, you can definitely tell when it's like the weather change in the game, which I really like because it adds that kind of more flexibility to the game. You've got to change your game a little bit, maybe change your tactics a little bit, and which I really do love that as well. When it comes to say the shooting on the game, the shooting is really good this year. They definitely have kind of when say go back to say like early PES, like 2012, you could just score your like 35-yard screamers and that sort of thing. But as the kind of say 2014, 15, you couldn't really score them kind of ones. They're really difficult to kind of do. But in this one, it seems to be you get way more opportunities to kind of score them kind of goals. So, for example, my game I played against this was Crystal Palace, and Cabaye, mate. Cabaye can make some screamers on that game. If you give him the space and the right angle, he can go for a good 35-yard screamer and really make your life hell. And I don't know how he did score a hat-trick between us, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, it's still emotionally scarred me now on how much scariness he did with his right foot. So that's definitely one thing I do love with it. I'll say when it comes to when you're scoring, taking them kind of attempts at trying to go for a 35-yard screamer, the goalkeeper is going to be a thing. His kind of abilities are fantastic in this year. They've definitely made the goalkeepers more challenging. It's a thing they did point out a lot at the gaming conventions I've been at. The goalkeeper's got way more like flexible and is more mobile, moves around a bit more. So say if you're scoring by 35-yard scream, it's got to go top right. He saves it, bounces off his hand. His defender goes to pass it out, but it screws up that pass, so it lands into say another say, I don't know who plays for Crystal Palace, but another Crystal Palace player. He'll go take a little tap in, maybe to score a little tap in, but the goalkeeper's obviously trying to get back up, and he'll scuff that ball away somehow. But literally, it's a bit of like a little kind of push, tip of the finger kind of job, and the goalkeeper has so much more flexibility, which I absolutely love in this new PES, and you cannot argue with it, which makes you kind of go sometimes, how the hell didn't they score that goal, or how haven't I scored that goal? But it's just the goalkeeping on this game doesn't get you stressed, but a good kind of stress, because you're like, this is what I love, the challenge of playing a PES game and the goalkeepers not being sloppy and actually being really good. As then it's kind of like overall game mechanics are really good, especially the crossing. I've already said the passing is good, the shooting is absolutely great, but obviously when it comes to your technical players, so if you've got your world-class players like your Messi, your Ronaldos, the skill of them players are going to be absolutely fantastic on goal. But say you're playing with more of your mid-table kind of teams, lower team players, they're not going to be as good as obviously as them, but you can really tell the difference. It's like, for me, I'm playing like with two like career modes at the moment. Playing with like a really crappy squad, you can really tell a difference, and like you're really struggling with them. But when you're playing with a top squad, you can really tell the skill on them, and they have more to offer as well. So it's like when it comes to say like passing the ball, you can really like tell the players when they're making the passes, they add in a bit of skill to it. So I was just playing with, like, say, example, Pogba. He's got that unique kind of curling kind of pass. I literally made a pass, kind of a chip ball pass, and he made a lovely dunking kind of event. I did it with another player, mid-table team, and they didn't really have that kind of thing. It's literally a straightforward kind of pass. So you can really tell the difference depending on the player, and how the skill has been introduced and tweaked to that player, which I really like. And when it comes to playing them kind of passing footballs, you will not notice it until you literally look at the player. You look at the player and you see him literally make a little, maybe it's just a quick pass, but he will add a bit of skill on it, which I absolutely love in this one. You don't have to use the analogs to make him do a special skill. You literally press X to make a pass, and he'll make a little nice little kind of dunky kind of like pass, which I absolutely love on this one. It kind of adds a bit more excitement to the game, a bit more skilled base, which I think is absolutely it's fantastic. But when it comes to say like goal celebrations, I do like the goal celebrations on this game this year. They're very good. Obviously when it's doing that whole like panning around the stadium and all that stuff, it's not going to be as fantastic as we all know it's going to be like FIFA. FIFA's got that edge on that stuff, but I reckon in the next couple of PESs they can get towards it, but the animation is really more better on the PES game this year. So it's like when you do looking at the crowd, looking at the stadium, looking at the players, it's done a good job there. It's definitely done a better job than 2017. 17 was a bit for me for it, but this year is definitely something they've embraced and really kind of gone, we're going to really try our best to pump this more out to the PES fans. So I do greatly appreciate it to the PES team for doing that, because that's fantastic. I love that feature on a game as well. We're going to be moving in to talking about Master League. We are now. Some of the things I've added to the game, which I really love, and obviously some things obviously are not particularly great. You will probably get from me talking about these little things now. So the one thing, when you start off with setting up your game save, they've got a little option now called Challenge. So you basically get Challenge at the club, or you just got the basic same old Master League, where you basically stay at the same club as long as you want. Then if you want to move club, you can. But this time they've added a challenge mode on it where the owners put more like set you kind of like goals for the season. So say if you're like a mid-table team, they expect you to reach in the top 9. If you don't get the top 9, you're getting fired. If you don't qualify for the second round of the FA Cup, you're gonna get fired and all that stuff. So they've added kind of more of like a threat to you. If you don't achieve these goals, you're gone out the door, which I absolutely love it. I absolutely thrive off it, I do. And that's the one thing I feel like has been missing from Master League for a long time, but they finally have added it. I'm so over the moon with that feature because I've been playing it. I've got fired from a team, and I was so excited when it happened. I was like, yes, this is what I want. I was doing so bad with them. If I was on PES 2017, I would still be with them. I just literally would have no transfer budget when it comes to the summer. But where I did so bad, they fired me, got rid of me, and I was so excited when it happened because I was like, okay, I should feel guilty and bad, but at the same time I feel amazing right now because this happened. So that's definitely one thing that have added in. You can check on to see how you're doing with the owner as well, so it has percentage bar, it does. So obviously it's going to have a 0% to 100%. So like Manchester United at the moment, I'm second in the league, doing very well, and I've got the owner's trust is like about 70%, I'm going to say, maybe 68. So the owner's trust is overall really good, but it's not obviously that 100% which I would like. So you've always got that kind of thing, and the owner does let you know certain things. So when you're playing like a Manchester derby, he'll be like, I want you to go out today and show me a performance, stuff like that, and he'll give you a review after the game, how he thinks you did. Obviously if you don't win, he's gonna be mad, but if you draw, he's still gonna be mad. So it kind of, your owners expect you to win them derby kind of games, which I really do like that, because that's the same as real life. Your owners expect you to win them big derby matches because they want to be the dominant club in that particular area, or the Premier League. So I do like that a lot. So then it's kind of like, when it kind of moves into like the extra challenging part of the game, is keeping your players happy. So obviously if you've got a big squad, you've got to have your starting 11, your idea kind of starting 11, which you want to play every single game. Maybe change 1 or 2 players because they're a bit tired. But if you don't change them, your players get unhappy. They get unhappy and they'll let you know, they'll ask for a transfer request, and they will definitely make you aware of like it's not being fair. So for me, I've got Manchester United career mode at the moment, and I'm having to rotate my squad a good fair bit to keep all the players happy. Obviously it gives you that flexibility of keeping your main big stars fresh, and you're having to think about your players who you select. It's like, right, I played this left back last game, this game I'm going to play this left back. So it kind of gives you that more, like, you've got to think about your players. You can't just be like, right, start game and start with the same 11, because you have that chance of upsetting your players and maybe losing your big stars who are on your bench. So maybe say if you've got a midfield with say Pogba, I'm going to say Tony Cruz, and maybe say you've got Jack Wilshere in there. I don't know, I'm just going to run Jack Wilshere in that midfield. Then on your bench you've got an Iniesta. He's not going to be happy, man. He's not in that starting 3. So he's going to let you know that I'm a world-class midfielder, I should be in that squad. So you've got to think of that rotation, which I do like. Obviously if you've got a small squad, you don't need to worry about so much, but definitely if you've got a big squad, you've got to definitely take that into account, which I think that's a good feature. It's added in because it adds that kind of rotation to the game, and that's generally the overall challenge mode, which I absolutely thrive, because it gives you that challenge every single match. You got to think about it very carefully, and I think it's done very well. But when it comes to when it comes to transfers, the transfers have been slightly improved. It's a bit harder to sign some of them like bigger players that you want to sign. Obviously it's kind of like, the one deal I was very surprised I was able to pull off, like signing Alexis Sanchez. I pulled him off somehow, but it definitely is more harder to sign some players. Like I've tried negotiating with so many players, and negotiations are breaking down constantly. So you gotta be like, just keep going at the players. So and then eventually maybe keep an eye on their contract for length as well, and you might get them. And it's very, very hard to sign players on this one, which obviously it's kind of like real life. Look at Chelsea, for example. They try signing so many players, but the players don't want to leave their clubs to go to Chelsea because they're happy at Chelsea. They're happy at their clubs and don't want to move to Chelsea. So that's definitely one thing I do like. It's harder to sign players, and it's definitely a thing that have improved in the last couple of PESs, because it's like the last couple of PESs it's been very easy to sign, say, a big star from Bayern Munich within your first your first transfer window. But it's so different. Just it tweaks in the last few PESs, and it's got harder and harder to sign them big players, and it's like real life. You're not going to see Man City going in for Lewandowski because he's happy at Bayern Munich. He doesn't want to move. He's earning so much money and he's scoring. He's a good player for their squad. So it's like real life, which I do really like. But so when you say you do get a player who does want to move to your club, when it comes to negotiation, normally you would pop up it would in the past, and you'd like, oh, I want you to lower your offer, but you never had an option where you can negotiate. It's like, oh, I want you to lower your wage, I want you to decrease your thing and all that stuff. You didn't really have that much flexibility, but this one has more flexibility with it. So you got an option to renegotiate your transfer contract. And so you can tweak, maybe drop the transfer fee by a certain percentage. But if you change the transfer percentage, the actual chances of signing the player could drop. So you've got to tweak it. So maybe you want to drop the transfer fee a bit, but maybe extend the player's salary by a good amount. So he might be intrigued by that. Then you might be like, oh, I'm going to give you a goal bonus as well, an appearance bonus and all that stuff. So you can negotiate with the player. And it gives you a percentage as well. So it's not like, oh right, I'm going to split this offer, then you have to wait a day to get that offer back. It's literally, we'll have on a percentage thing, chances of signing. If you go all the way down to the lowest option of the transfer fee, it's going to be 0%. But if you go maybe halfway, it might be 50%. But if you go maybe just a couple, like say 2 bars down, it might go down to like 80% of signing the player. But you obviously negotiate the wages and all that stuff, which I do like in that the new PES. So overall, this game has been absolutely fantastic. Definitely a massive improvement on the last one, and it's kind of, obviously, like I said at the beginning of the review, if you've been playing PES for a long time, like myself, you will know the differences from the last PES and the last couple of PESs, and on this journey that we've been on since 2014 with the new engine, and you definitely can tell. But if you're like a FIFA fan, you're only just jumping on PES every now and then, you're not going to really know, you're really not going to know, and really kind of get upset by the fact that, oh, it's not FIFA though. But for me, I absolutely love it. But I haven't got around to playing the online. The online's been fantastic, what I've heard. Become a Legend, I've heard, is fantastic. I've been watching some Let's Plays on it, and it does look really fun. It's kind of obviously the same as the last couple of Become a Legend, which I obviously will do at some point once I've got a bit bored of Master League. I will do Become a Legend, I will. And I might try out the online at some point, because apparently they've added like a 3v3 sort of thing on it. So I think you're all 3 players are on one team and 3 on the other team and all that stuff. So I think they've added that. I have to look into that more because I haven't really looked at the online. But I've only seen via Twitter positive stuff from my club selection on PES 2018 this year. So I'm glad that's doing well, because obviously I was playing PES last year on Master League. My club it's called it is on 2017 and 16. I did like them, but I'm more of a single player kind of guy when it comes to FIFA, PES, and like FIFA or any kind of football manager on PC. I love playing the offline mode. I'm not really an online person for football games because I'm not that good at them. So yeah, definitely one of the things to be positive on that, and obviously if it's obviously been improved compared to the last couple of years, people will be moaning about it, but obviously it's doing well. But my overall score for PES 2018 this year. So going from PES 2017 to PES 2018, it's definitely been an improvement. I do see myself playing it a lot this year. It's got me kind of like I come home sometimes from work, I want to load up PES. I don't want to play any other game, which is always a good thing. I'm definitely going to have to give this game this year a solid 8.5, maybe a push to a 9 after maybe a couple more weeks of me playing it, maybe trying to become a legend and all that stuff. But from just like playing Master League, Exhibition mode, and just general game mechanics and all that stuff, I've got to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10 at the moment. So honestly, I recommend going if you're looking for a fun football game, something you can dive into and really like learn the game and itself. I definitely highly suggest going out to get PES, and it's a good series to be following. Its journey from, like I say, now until the thing. But even if you go out and get this game, spend a £5 on PES 2014 and see the differences. This is the same engine they're using now from 2014, but just go out and buy PES 2014, then play this one, and you'll be like, what the hell was that game? This is the same engine, but this is just like how they've improved from that game to this game. It's been a massive difference, and that's what I suggest doing if you're going to go out and buy PES 2018. You can get it, obviously, it's coming up to Christmas. I recommend keeping an eye out online. You can probably get some pretty cheap, obviously, with I think some November's deals coming up next month, so keep an eye out. But you can generally get it cheaper, generally around everywhere. But definitely for my review, a solid 8.5 out of 10. But thank you very much for watching my PES review video today. I will be doing some more reviews in the future. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you drop a comment down below. Kind of let me know how you thought of this. This is my first ever review of me doing a game. Also, I will get better as I do these and become more, you may say, more professional at it. But at the moment, this is my first game review, sharing my thoughts on it and everything like that. And if you did enjoy, make sure you subscribe as well to the channel for my next game review. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you very soon with my next game review. Bye bye.